Good afternoon. Welcome to the Desert Edge School graduation ceremony for the Day Reporting Centers and California State University San Bernardino Reentry Initiative. I'm Lucy Gonzalez, principal for Desert Edge, and this is Randy Kovacevic, principal for the Riverside and Temecula Day Reporting Centers and Cal State San Bernardino Reentry Initiative. Welcome also Arthur Kimball, principal for the Indio DRC. Please stand if you're not already while we begin the procession or complete our procession. Please remain standing as the Leadership Military Academy Color Guard present the flag under the direction of Captain Joe Vines. Student Victor Garcia from the Riverside Day Reporting Center will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That's it, right?
Please be seated. Thank you, Victor Garcia, drill instructor Anthony Torres, and cadets. Before we begin our program today, I'd like to acknowledge several guests who are with us. Dr. Edwin Gomez, Riverside County Superintendent of Schools. Please stand. Bruce Dennis, member of the Riverside County Board of Education. Barbara Hale, member of the Riverside County Board of Education. Riverside County Office of Education Cabinet members, Joanne Lauer, Amanda Corridon, Eric Calderon, Stefan McPeace. Also assisting presiding Judge Judith Clark of the Riverside Superior Court. Welcome. Dr. Charles Newman, RCOE Assistant Superintendent of Student Programs and Services. Chief Deputy Probation Officer Natalie Rivera of Riverside County Office of Probation. Chief Deputy Probation Officer Terry Spear of Riverside County Probation. Courtney Johnson, Supervising Probation Officer, Field Projects. Rudy Lovato, Probation Division Director, Riverside DRC. Shannon Crosby, Assistant Probation Division Director at Riverside DRC. Reina Perez Diaz, Senior Probation Officer, Riverside Day Reporting Center. Kristen Dixon, Senior Probation Officer, Temecula Day Reporting Center. Edwin Moreno, Senior Probation Officer, Indio Day Reporting Center. Elaine Zucco, Director of Program Operations, California State San Bernardino Reentry Initiative. Ludinia Coles, Center Manager, Moreno Valley, Cal State Reentry Initiative. And Dr. Deanna McCarty, Executive Director, Alternative Education. I also want to make sure that everybody recognized my colleagues who were maybe covered a little during the procession. Randy Kovacevic, Principal for the Riverside and Temecula Day Reporting Centers and Cal State San Bernardino Reentry Initiative and Administrator. And Arthur Kimball, Principal for the Indio DRC. Okay, please join me in recognizing the wonderful staff from the Riverside Day Reporting Center. If you all would please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Please join me in recognizing the terrific staff from the Temecula Day Reporting Center. And please join me in recognizing the incredible staff from the Indio Day Reporting Center. Please join me in recognizing staff from the CSRI. And from the Riverside County Office of Education, our outstanding teachers, Jonathan Hess, Lionel Castro, Patrick Healy, and Tina Casio. Thank you for your dedication and extraordinary service.
All right. And at this time, I would like to invite Dr. Edwin Gomez, Riverside County Superintendent of Schools, to share a few special remarks.
Well, good afternoon to everyone, and just so honored to be here this afternoon to recognize wonderful students that are a beacon of hope, students that have done a tremendous job in getting to this place today. And so I just want to express, I think, the sentiment in the room, which is one of gratitude, one of congratulations, and one of deep appreciation for everything that you've done, for everything that you're doing, and everything that you will do in your life. I think it's just a testament to your hard work and dedication. I'd like to start off by thanking all of the partners once again that made this possible, both at the university level as well as at the county level. As we all know, partnerships are extremely important as we work together, as we collaborate together, as we synergize together to ensure that we are meeting the needs of our students to the highest ability possible. And once again, this afternoon, we're focusing on shining a light on the hundreds of decisions that our graduates have made, decisions where they have really thought about things to improve their lives, to improve their families, to improve their futures. And so many of you decided to say no to going out with friends because you needed to study for a test. Many of you decided to turn in that assignment even though it was late. Many of you decided to ask for help when you weren't sure about a subject, and all of those decisions have added to making up where we are today, congregated here to celebrate and to honor you. And what we can basically say from that is what you have epitomized and what you have expressed is the art of self-discipline, having tenacity, having courage, having resiliency in everything that you do. And so as you consider your plans for a life after completing this program, never forget the powerful lessons that you've learned. Never forget what you've come through and what you've made through and where you're going. That's called resiliency. It's called being tenacious, and it's called focusing on your future. And so as I'm closing this afternoon, whether you are reentering the workforce or if you are moving on to college and pursuing a degree, we know once again that you will be a beacon of light, a beacon of hope. And once again, I express to all of you that we're extremely proud of you, and congratulations. And we know that you will continue to do amazing things, and best of luck on your journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Gomez. And at this time, I would like to invite Bruce Dennis, board member, Riverside County Board of Education, to share a few special remarks.
To today's graduates, let's start with one single fact that every person in this room is so very proud of each and every one of you and what you've accomplished in getting here. Now, whether you chose to pursue your high school diploma or your GED, you are both graduates here today. We are all privileged to be able to share this moment with you, and I mean that from my heart. This is special for us to see what you've accomplished and to be part of it. I'm going to use a word that Dr. Gomez used, resilience. This is the single word that comes to mind when I think of what separates successful individuals from those who simply wander in life. Resilience is also developed by learning to cope with challenges. It's a process of adapting well in the face of trauma, tragedy, adversity, or significant stress. Sounds familiar? To today's graduates, unlike graduates from traditional high schools, you've already learned one of life's most important lessons that they have not. That adversity is not a barrier, but is only a speed bump on the road to success. You know what overcoming struggle looks like. While adversity may slow you down, it can be overcome. Forward progress, while delayed, can be achieved. You've shown your friends, your family, and most importantly yourself that you will not quit, that you have an intestinal fortitude to set a goal and will take the steps required to attain the goal. Now, as you end this part of your journey and begin your next phase of life, remember that you now have the same opportunities for long-term success as any other high school graduate. While your path to this point in your lives may be different than others, your destination can be the same. Now, myself, I went to community college. Then I went to Cal State Fulton. Now I find myself addressing you as a member of the Board of Education. Wasn't that far from being where you guys are. I was not just the first to graduate from graduate college in my family, I was the first from my block. We all remember our block. So why can't you be the first? Now, college may not be for you, that's fine. Then learn a skill. Many unions, like the Carpenters and Electricians Union, offer apprenticeships programs that will be paid while you learn a skill. These programs are just a Google search away. Community colleges offer amazing vocational programs at bargain prices, along with trade schools that have grants available to help fund your vocation. My point is, don't just wander hoping success will find you. Have a plan to seek it out. It's your time to put your resiliency to work. Finally, board members, when speaking to graduates, are always supposed to provide you with sage advice to guide you in your future endeavors. So in keeping with this tradition, I'm going to end with a quote from Steve Jobs, co-founder of Apple. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to be in life. Here's to the road less traveled. Here's to the class of 2022.
Thank you, Mr. Dennis. It is a pleasure to invite the Honorable Judge Judith Clark, who has supported the DRC and CSRI, to say a few words.
For the class of 2022, it's my great pleasure to be here today, and I want to extend my appreciation to all the collaborative partners who make this process happen for your hard work and support of these students and the steps that they're taking in their life. As I was thinking about your accomplishment here today, I'm reminded of a quote by President Theodore Roosevelt. "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. The credit belongs to who actually strives to do the deeds. You are the ones who have chosen here to put yourself in the arena, who have valiantly striven to accomplish something greater for yourselves, to meet a goal that maybe no one in your family has ever met before, or one that you may have thought was unachievable. You have made the sacrifice that has brought you here today to this moment where we celebrate your accomplishment. And we celebrate not only what you have accomplished today, but we anticipate what your lives will show going forward, and what we know will be the first of many accomplishments for you. We wish you all the best as you go forward and hope that you will challenge yourself to recognize that you have taken this first step and you've accomplished this goal. And now you can set another goal for yourself, take another first step, and see where you can take yourself in life. We wish you the best in that endeavor and recognize you for being the one who was courageous enough to place yourself in the arena and strive for something more. Congratulations for the class of 2022.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to invite Robert Felix from the Riverside DRC to say a few words.
Good afternoon, all in attendance. My name is Robert Felix. It's an honor to be standing here amongst my peers who have put the time and effort in to reach this milestone and accomplish their goals. It's an honor to celebrate with you. This is our moment. Looking back on life, I ask you to please lend me your ear as I tell you about how this moment came to be. As a young teenager, immature, I ran away, dropped out of school, 10th grade. I started doing dirt. I ended up in a 5x9 cell, missing out on wholesome family functions and important life events, feeling the aftermath and decisions I made that ruined my reputation with loved ones. For years, I had this routine on repeat. One day I thought, why am I doing this? I matured, then made a decision to not procrastinate any longer. I made a plan, stuck to it, and applied the knowledge that had been hibernating for 20 years. After that, things just got easier. You can't go wrong when you're doing things right. And it's better late than never. When I was incarcerated, I was enrolled in school and attended approximately for 2 weeks before the whole California prison system went on lockdown due to COVID-19. Just my luck. Once released, I took the newly awakened knowledge and coincidentally, just my luck, and had Mr. Healy put me on a testing list. The staff of the DRC that I went to made me aware of all the services they offered. They didn't make me feel like the average PO would. Nope. On the contrary, they were strictly dedicated to the betterment of the individuals who attended. It was the first probation office that I was treated like a human being and not doomed to the offenses on my rap sheet. Instead, I was passionately encouraged to utilize the tools and services they offered to achieve the goals that I set. I would walk in and they would be quick to say hi, quickly acknowledge me. I'd call and they would ask, who's calling? I'd say, Robert Felix, and they quickly acknowledge, like they knew me well and have been keeping track of my progress. It really made the difference to be around people who sincerely root for you. Game changer through and through. Testing day came, and to my surprise, when the results came back, it was a personal achievement which made me really proud and encouraged me to keep pushing. Last but not least, I think we could all agree that we couldn't have done it alone. So I'll take this time to thank those who made it possible, starting with the man upstairs, who makes all things possible. Next, to my lovely wife, who nourished me and kept me loved and safe. My mom, who worked hard to provide for me and my sister as children. My aunt, who gave me a roof to build a foundation under. To the entire staff at the DRC, to Mr. Patrick Healy, who never underestimates a man or a woman for that matter. My peers, who have the honor of throwing these funny little hats in the air with. And the entire graduating class of 2022 worldwide. We did it. It's our moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Felix. At this time, I'd like to invite student Christopher Island from the Temecula DRC to say a few words.
I just want to take this time to thank everybody for attending, family, friends, Temecula DRC staff, the Riverside Probation Department, and everyone else that's here for our support. Thank you. Let's give ourselves a hand. Speaking of probation, I'm glad y'all in the building. I would hate to say the wrong thing and someone come up here and slap me like Will Smith did to Chris Rock. I hope y'all would get him, you feel me? But more on a serious note, thank you everybody for coming. First, I want to thank God, because without him, we couldn't have done this. Because of his grace, I can stand here with my fellow graduates and receive this blessing. Second, we would like to thank our family and loved ones for the love and support through the good and the bad times. We love you. Finally, we'd like to thank Temecula DRC staff for Mr. Hess and his "you can do it" attitude to the very polite receptionists that greet us coming and going from the facility. I look at it like this. Everyone there has a job to do, and that's to evaluate us, determine what type of support we need, and to help us receive it and get off probation. To people who have been big supporters in me completing my education and probation are P.O. Sanchez, P.O. McKinley. For that, I thank you, along with P.O. Dixon and the whole Temecula DRC staff. Let's give ourselves a hand. Now, to the class of, we know what year it is, so we're not gonna say what year it is. We're just gonna say to the class of believers, to the class of we're not giving up, to the class of I told you so. Yes, we did it. Yes, we knew we could obtain this certificate. Let's give ourselves a hand. For those who don't know me, I'm gonna just say a little bit about myself. My name is Christopher Island. Basically, I grew up in a single mom home with me being the oldest of 3 boys. I was a big brother and a father figure to my brothers while my mom worked to keep a roof over our heads, food on the table, and clothes on our backs. She couldn't teach me how to be a man, so I would leave when she was at work, searching how to be a man. Of course, there wasn't any good examples, so I bumped my head, meaning I got into trouble, from juvenile to county, then sad to say, prison. Taking me away from my kids and my family. The whole time my mom was in my corner, helping me to keep my family together, always telling me I could do it with prayer, which is true. I'm a firm believer that a family that prays together stays together. And through God, all things are possible. When I was referred to the DRC by P.O. Bergman, I was working. I thought, I'm not gonna have time to do this, but I was wrong. I did have time. I mean, you always have time to strengthen your knowledge, right? If you desire to. And to be honest, I figure I'm smart without the certificate. But this world doesn't work like that. It's not only who you know, but it's also what you know as well. And at the DRC, they know a lot. They have the resources that are programmed to see what we need to help us in and to get that extra push to where we need to be and to stay focused, not only for ourselves, but for our families. The teacher there is a positive vibe when it comes to someone supporting you all the time. Mr. Hess says, you got this, you could do this. And I believe he speaks these things to life. Not only that, but he takes the time to explain both classwork at hand as well as life lessons that we deserve and should expect from life when you work hard. The DRC is a place where they're a team and everyone there does their part genuinely. Once I decided to commit to my education, I worked on preparing for the HISET before work, on my lunch break, any chance I could. Oftentimes, I would be the first one there, and Mrs. Sanchez would send me off to work with extra lunches for the day. At this time, I believe from the trials and tribulations, I have a testimony that I could tell my kids because I've been where they don't need to go or be. They inspire me daily to stay focused on my education and bettering myself mentally, physically, and spiritually. Yes, I have challenges in my life. Who doesn't? No, I'm not perfect, but I get up and take it one day at a time, and I stay in my lane, continuing to work hard, knowing that my family loves me as I am. That love keeps me inspired every day to continue pushing towards my ambitions. Thanks to the push and support from my family and the DRC staff, as well as staying focused, I was introduced to Mrs. Carrie White from Mount San Jacinto College. Mr. Hess told me about her, and she walked me through enrolling into Mount San Jacinto College. When she asked me what I wanted to do, I told her I wanted to be a counselor for the youth because I have similar situations that they've been through. I want to support the young kids through the experiences of single-family home, dealing with the streets, the criminal justice system, plus everything that I had to figure out on my own. The thing about a lot of people is they have the certifications for the job, but they haven't experienced the same life as the people they support. Not to say that they can't help us, but it's an extra comfort when someone relates to you because they've been in your shoes. I talk to my kids about the experiences I've lived firsthand. I know the scars from the streets and what it leads to, and that's jail or death. I've lost things and I lost people. I told my kids that's not the life that they want to lead. And I'm taking my first class towards being a counselor, which is family law. I've been learning the codes to the issues in family law, and I look forward to my next classes. In doing this, I'm pushing towards changing and breaking the chain for my family and continue to be here for my boys and family. Again, I'd like to thank the whole Temecula DRC team, my family, and God. Congratulations, class of believers. Congratulations, class of we're not giving up. Congratulations, class of I told you so. Yes, we did it.
Thank you, Mr. Island, for your inspiring words. I'm not crying. And now I'd like to invite Dr. Deanna McCarty and Barbara Hale to the stage.
This is the best part for me. I am pleased to present the Desert Edge School Class of 2022 for acceptance by the Riverside County Board of Education, and I hereby certify that the students of Desert Edge School from the Day Reporting Center and California State San Bernardino Reentry Initiative Class of 2022 have completed all requirements established by the State of California and the Riverside County Board of Education for high school graduation or high school equivalency.
You think you got the best part, but I did. On behalf of the Riverside County Board of Education, I accept the Desert Edge School Class of 2022 from the Day Reporting Centers and the CSRI.
Thank you. And I'd like to invite Mr. Castro and Patrick Healy to the stage, please.
Students, this is the moment you've been waiting for, the presentation of diplomas and certificates. Please stand.
Victor Garcia.
Robert Felix.
Christopher Island.
Joseph Bader.
Johnny Alcantar.
Brian Gully.
Niles Rutherford.
Adriana Lemus.
Michael Neck.
George Godinez.
Chad Brady.
Kevin Chaston.
Serenity Belli.
Alfonso Padilla.
Jonathan Hughes.
Congratulations, graduates.
As we recognize our graduates, we ask you to remain in your seats and not in the aisles until the graduates have exited the rooms. Dignitaries, please remain on the stage as well. In keeping with the long-standing tradition, students, this is your time. Time to move your tassels from left to right. Congratulations. You are now graduates of the class of 2022.